Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Remembrancers Library. We are back again. It's me, Ethan.
And me, Vincent.
And we're here to tell you about more Primarch stuff.
Falling down the stairs.
Falling down the stairs towards the chaos.
Towards the chaos in the basement.
Yes. So a little bit of house cleaning like we usually do.
Yep.
If you're listening on the YouTube, thank you very much. Please give us a like. Please give us a subscribe. Leave a comment. Let us know how we're doing. Let us know if we're doing anything wrong. Let us know if we suck. If you're on the Spotify, give us a download. Give us a follow. Thank you for listening to us there. If you're on the Instagram, how? We don't do reels yet, so I don't know how you're listening to us there. Unless this is the future, then hi from the future.
Well, no, we'd be saying hi from the past.
Oh, yeah,
to
hi.
them in the future.
Hi, welcome from the... Hi, past. Hi.
Past us says hello to future you.
Ethan is sick right now, which is why he's doing the intro.
Yes. I'll be doing most of the talking, so you do the little talking.
The little talking. But yes, across all boards of it, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for being here. Do all that stuff, please. Suggest us to all your friends and your family and your enemies and your forbidden loves and your... all that kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you have, like, you know, a rival or something and things are getting pretty heated, send us over there. Sorry.
Is that a heated rivalry reference? You liar.
Yes.
I can see in your eyes.
Yes, it was. Yes, it was.
You lie. Anyway, speaking of lying...
Speaking of
lying, we're going to talk about the second four of the heretic Primarchs, the traitor Primarchs.
Yes, we are.
So to give you guys all a bit of a recap, last week we talked about Fulgrim, Mortarion, Angron, and Magnus.
Yeah.
This week we're going to be talking about like the little less popular traitor Primarchs. Some of them can be pretty popular in their own right. Right now, there is a little bit of discourse, as of the day of recording this, about whether or not we're about to get another Perturabo model.
Oh, goody.
Mm-hmm. It was a massive fake out, and they were like, we're going to release a Perturabo model. And then they released, I can't remember his name off the top of my head right now, but they released an Iron Warriors model and an upgrade kit.
Okay.
But people were like, this doesn't track because of the teaser you gave us. There's a lot more in the teaser than you gave us. So what's going on here? So, yeah, Perturabo, the Iron Warriors are quite popular in their own groups. And then... Yeah, I know that the Alpha Legion are not as popular on the tabletop too much.
Yes.
I don't even think they have a codex. Don't hold me to that. But I don't even think they have a codex of their own. The Night Lords.
Yep.
And the Word Bearers. Yes, which we've technically already talked about a little bit. But we're going to be talking about each of their Primarchs this week. So it's going to be Konrad, Lorgar, Perturabo, and Alpharius.
Yes, indeed.
Yes, indeed. So let's get on into the first one.
Yes, we shall.
All right, so who's our first guy that we're going to be talking about, V?
First guy we're talking about today is Lorgar.
Yay!
We did already do an entire episode on his pilgrimage, so this is just going to be kind of a quick summary. So I will just jump right into it.
Yeah, go for it.
So to basically sum up that other episode, Lorgar, during the Great Crusade, he had been spreading the holy word of the Emperor.
Yeah.
Which he was not supposed to be doing.
No.
And it was... because of that, it was taking him forever to bring worlds into compliance because he was sticking around and building temples and churches and spreading the holy gospel.
It's funny because if he had just done it quicker, the emperor wouldn't have cared. If
he was just a little bit more convenient, no, that's not the word I want. Efficient. If he was just a little bit more efficient with it, would have been nobody would have caught on.
Pre-build the churches, and then drop them from orbit.
Yep, because that's the Sororitas to do that?
I belive so, they drop churches from orbit,
Churches and organs and all sorts of stuff.
Everything from orbit,
Everything from orbit.
They have that one model. Yeah. It's just an organ on the back of a tank.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it just, I love that.
Mm-hmm.
So the Emperor was like, actually, I don't want you doing this, my son.
Yeah.
And Lorgar had been, albeit slowly, getting some worlds under the Imperium.
Yeah.
But once the Emperor noticed that he was starting to spread the gospel in the way that the Emperor did not want, he did not want to be a god, but he was a god, and he wanted to be a god. But he didn't want to be a god. He didn't want to be worshipped.
He was godlike, but he didn't want to be godlike.
Exactly. But he didn't. He wanted to be all-powerful, but he didn't want to be a god.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, besides the point. We digress. The Emperor sent... I can't remember who he sent, but he sent...
Guerrilla men.
Yes. Yeah. To do some guerrilla warfare.
Well, not quite their style, but yeah.
No. But they razed Monarchia, which was Lorgar's origin city on his origin planet, razed the city to the ground, and then called Lorgar and all the word bearers, and got them all to kneel in front of him, and then he ripped them a new one. It's like, stop it.
The Emperor ripped him a new one.
Yes. The Emperor ripped Lorgar and the word bearers a new one. Yeah. And then kind of like was like, you're on timeout. Yeah. No more crusade for you. And during that time, Lorgar conferred with Corferon and Erebus.
Erebus.
Me
and all my homies hate Erebus.
Everyone hates Erebus.
Even Khan hates Erebus.
Exactly. So they all have a little get together, a little meeting, and Corferon and Erebus convince Lorgar to go and do a pilgrimage. Yeah. To find what other gods may be out there and yada yada.
Well, they didn't convince him to do pilgrimage. He came to the thing of the pilgrimage on his own.
Right.
They convinced him that he should be they convinced him basically that there are other gods out there to worship besides the Emperor.
Okay, so they were like, hey, there's other gods, and he was like, oh, I'm going to go for a walk then.
Yeah, he's basically, hey, there are other gods. What, really? I need to find out if these other gods exist. And
I want to worship a god, because otherwise, what else have I been doing this whole time?
Yeah.
So
if that's not the case, my entire life has been worthless.
Exactly. So he does join the Great Crusade again, under the guise of doing that while he's doing his pilgrimage.
Under the guise of doing as he's told.
Yes. He's pretending to do what he's told, but he's actually doing sneaky religious things. So they are on this adventure, and they end up in the Cadia system on the planet that would later be known as Cadia. And they find the people that are primitive, with the purple eyes.
The planet broke before the god did.
It did. Yeah. And Lorgar is, well, not necessarily introduced, but meets Ingethel, who was just Ingethel and then did a ritual and ascended and then became Ingethel the Ascended. She's like this demon lady who's like, okay, hey, this is what's up.
Yeah.
She takes some of the word bearers into the Eye of Terror.
Including Argel Tal.
Including that guy that we previously... Yep, that one. So they all go in. She shows them the primordial truth. Yeah. They all get possessed by demons, and she brings them back out and is like, here you go, Lorgar, here's your sons. Yeah, they're just microwaved a little bit.
Here are your demon sons.
So then that's that.
Yeah.
And then she takes... No. So Lorgar then issues an order to have the planet wiped by cyclonic bombardment, which was just setting all of the oxygen on fire.
Yeah. Basically burning the atmosphere.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then he takes Demon Lady back to his ship, and then they're kind of like going around, and then she's going to take him on a tour of the warp, essentially. And
show you all the sights.
Exactly. She takes him to a couple of old Eldari worlds. Yeah, so she shows him a bunch of the old Eldari worlds and a bunch of their lore, and then he kills an old Eldar god. And then he tries to meet future Magnus somehow with the timey-wimey stuff that's going on.
Well, she shows him she basically just shows him a bunch of words and then shows him a bunch of visions, and then she's like, hey, look, Magnus.
There's Magnus.
There's old Magnus.
And Magnus didn't recognize Lorgar.
Nope.
Because he didn't have the faith and flame and fire and guts in his eyeballs.
Screwed up, scratched up face that modern day,
that modern Magnus's Lorgar would have had.
Yeah.
Either way, Magnus flicks him out of existence in that dimension.
Argel Tal brings him back again.
Yeah. And Ingethel uses like the rest of her magic.
Not Argeltal, Ingethel. Oh my god.
And then I'm doing a lot of and-thens in this story.
Yeah.
This is...
Well, this is just a recap of everything we've already done.
Okay, what happened next, though? Oh, yeah, so...
And then he fights a demon of Khorne, and he wins, and then that's when the primordial truth is revealed to him. Well, no, he gets the idea of the primordial truth, but he needs to prove himself to the Chaos Gods so he can receive that power.
Yes, because they end up back on a planet that they had been on one of those Eldari worlds.
Yeah. And he fights it, and then that's when he fights a demon of Khorne, and then he has
one of Tzeentch's
guys come down, and they're like, one of us is telling lies, one of us tells lies, the other one doesn't, but they were like, actually, we're both telling the truth.
We're both telling the truth, and this is what's going to happen. Yeah. Or no.
Yeah, no, they're both telling that. They are both
telling the truth, and they're like, hey, we're going to take you on a more in-depth tour through the warp, and Ingethel tells him the ways that he would die if he were to do...
One by Corax, one by Russ and Magnus if he got between them.
Exactly.
And then and then he's like, okay, and then he comes back out and he's like, well, time to spread the good word.
Exactly.
And then that brings us up to our modern day.
Exactly. Yeah. And he's like fully seated in chaos now, and then he sends Erebus to starts counsel Horus.
Right after he finishes in the thing, that's when he starts his scheming to get all of what he's been shown underway.
Exactly.
And he sends Erebus out to... So the Council of Nicaea is important to bring up here because we didn't mention it and all that sort of stuff. But when the Council of Nicaea, basically, there were a whole bunch of the legions, they had like some spiritual guidance in some regard. The Psykers were being allowed to be in there and all that sort of stuff, all that yada yada yada. We'll talk about that at some point in the future.
Yeah.
But basically, when the Council of Nicaea comes across and the Emperor is like, no more Psykers being used and all that sort of stuff. No more magic. Lorgar saw this as the opportunity that it was that the Astartes would need some guidance spiritually. Not so much spiritually as in like a religious way, but spiritually as in like I need direction. How should I, conduct myself? All that kind of stuff.
Because they were getting it magically before, so now they're going to need it just not magically.
They're just going to need it not magically. So Erebus. Lorgar saw this as for what it was. I'm getting to Erebus in just a second.
That's all right.
Lorgar saw this for what it was and was like, I can start seeding the ideas of chaos in the legions.
Yes.
So he starts to send out his chaplains.
Yes.
He's like, I can offer you things. I have chaplains. Send them out to the things.
Yeah.
So he started offering up his own chaplains to some of the legions while they got their own chaplains in order.
Yeah.
They ends up with a whole bunch of other priests and stuff like that in different legions and stuff like that. But the one that he gives to the Lunar Wolves, or the Sons of Horus, is he gives Erebus.
Yes.
And Erebus is the right-hand man to Horus.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's the right-hand man to Lorgar, but he's also the right-hand man to Horus for a time.
Yes.
And the thing that Erebus was doing for Horus is he was giving him advice on how to deal with warp threats.
Right.
So when, a demon of the warp would come out and stuff like that, they would be like, okay, this is what you should do to deal with it. Usually ends up with just shooting the thing.
Yeah, just kill it dead.
But also on how to give the right answers to his legion about what the warp is.
Right.
What the warp is and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Because this was roughly around about the time that, Magnus, Lorgar, Horus, some of the other people that had connections to the warp, even the Lion, were getting a kind of slight inkling that there might be a little bit more than just rabid beasts in the warp.
Yeah.
Might be some intelligences. So yeah, that's what happens in between the Pilgrimage of Lorgar and the Horus Heresy is he's like, I can start infiltrating and messing around with some things for people.
Make everybody a little bit uncertain, but think that they're certain, but they're really not.
Well, they also instigated the creation of the Warrior Lodges. And what those were they were basically, it was a secret division, essentially, or like a secret grouping, which is against the Emperor's teachings. There should be no secrets between brothers and all that sort of stuff. And basically, it was where all Astartes are the same.
Okay.
So a sergeant could talk to a captain without having to use the presence of rank or the presence of a hierarchy and stuff like that. But that kind of broke down the hierarchical status, and it made it very easy for them to be corrupted because they were open to hearing ideas, and because it's brother to brother, they don't think it's a bad thing.
Right.
And these warrior lodges started to pop up in Legion, in Legion, between legions. And then the legions would come across and they would be like, hey, you're part of the warrior lodge. Yeah, I'm a part of the warrior lodge. You want to get our clubs?
Yeah.
We'll have a meetup kind of thing, and you guys can converse. That started happening.
Right.
And it came to a point where
everybody becomes free thinkers and then falls to chaos. And
that's essentially what happened. And there was some talk, I haven't looked into it too much yet. There was talk of some staunchly loyalist legions, such as the White Scars and the not the Ultramarines so much, but I think maybe another one. I just can't. It starts. The White Scars is the one that comes to mind straight away, of them having traitor Astartes within their ranks too.
Right.
But they were dealt with very quickly because obviously their legions weren't enough to be traitors.
Yeah.
So that's one of the things, is like those warrior lodges were specifically made to corrupt and, change the minds of the Astartes en masse.
Start weakening the links.
The links, exactly.
Okay.
And then after this, Lorgar is also massively instrumental to the rest of the Horus Heresy.
Yes. It really kind of all Lorgar's fault.
It really is. It is Lorgar's. Well, it's the Emperor's fault.
Well, it's the Emperor's fault in the beginning.
Yeah.
But
it's the Emperor's fault, and then it's Lorgar's fault, and then it's Horus's fault, and then Magnus casts Microsoft Teams and blows open a hole in the defense of Earth.
Yeah. So by the end, it's everybody's fault.
But
yeah.
Not Sanguinius.
Not Sanguinius.
Not Sanguinius' point. He did nothing wrong. Baby boy. I'm not looking forward to a couple of episodes from now when we talk about the Siege of Terra.
Yeah. It's going to be a sad day.
It's going to be a sad day for me, that's true.
Everybody should have their Kleenexes ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. But anyways, I feel like that was pretty much all that we had talked about on the last episode.
Yeah, that was pretty much everything about Lorgar for now. And we'll get on to the next Primarch here.
Yes, we will.
Hydra Dominatus!
Okay, so the next Primarch we're going to be talking about here is Alpharius.
Alpharius Omegon.
Omegon.
The one that is one but two, but...
One.
Only one.
But two.
But it's a secret.
Yeah. There's one but two, but there's a secret, but there's a whole legion of him, but there's only one, but there's also two, but there's just one of them now.
But there's no secret third option.
But there's no secret third, maybe.
Well, but maybe there is. Who knows? Certainly not us. No. Maybe not Games Workshop.
No. Well, I think the Alpha Legion are just a retcon machine, because it's very much like a thing of this doesn't make any sense. Alpha Legion did
it was these guys. Yeah. They were just messing around.
Yeah.
Anyways, these ones are a little bit different, because they're not true traitors, but they are traitors.
But they're not.
No.
They are the only traitor legion to not fall to chaos in any way.
Yes.
Wrong. They are the only traitor legion to not fall to chaos via their Primarch.
Yes.
Because Konrad Curze never falls to chaos.
Right.
Yes.
He just kind of is doing his own thing.
He's just kind of doing his own thing, yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the Night Lords are chaos corrupted. Don't hold me to that, but
they might. Well,
yeah. Well, they have the Night Lord chaos model, so they might be
true.
Yeah,
that probably
make some sense.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Alpharius.
Yeah. So, to most people in universe, Horus and Alpharius Omegon. Again, Horus is best friends with all of his brothers.
Yeah.
But Alpharius and Omegon were only sort of friends with Horus.
Yeah.
So it kind of seemed natural that would be the way that goes.
Yeah.
And it was, it did seem that it was that bond that kind of swayed the betrayal.
Mm-hmm. But it was something else.
Mm-hmm. Because the way that Horus did his, trapping people in battle combat skills.
Yeah.
It went because his once the heresy kind of started, Horus's choice of doing things was in a way that was similar to the Alpha Legion's tactics.
Yes.
So it was kind of okay, they're just helping each other out here. So more unknown on the secret side, the Alpha Legion was, or well, not the Legion, just the Primarch.
Yeah.
Was approached by a member of the Cabal.
Yes.
Who I think we briefly talked about.
Yeah.
A perpetual that was John Grammaticus.
John Grammaticus, yeah.
John Grammaticus.
Giga Chad John Grammaticus.
Giga Chad,
He's
Mr. John.
One of those characters where it's just like, you are hard to hate.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's just kind of a dude that's always there, and he's just kind of chilling.
Yeah.
He's just kind of chilling. So he gives Alpharius 2 visions, and then lets Alpharius choose his own adventure.
Oh, it's a bit bigger than that.
It's a little bit bigger than that.
A little bit bigger than that. So yeah, John Grammaticus comes to a world that is currently trying to be brought into compliance by
the Alpha Legion.
And John Grammaticus, his entire time, he's like, okay, I know they're here. I need to get in contact with them.
Yeah.
Where the are they?
Yeah. There's so many of them, there's none.
But he's trying to find all this stuff. There's stuff going on the planet. It's taking them longer to bring the planet into compliance than it should.
Right.
Mysteriously so.
Right.
And they are trying to figure out what's going on, and the Alpha Legion is basically just trying to figure out what's going on themselves.
Yeah.
Because the Alpha Legion also find out that John Grammaticus is trying to look for them.
Yes.
So they start trying to find him, but they can't find him. But they do find a lot of other people that they bring into the fold to help them.
Right.
And then, in doing so, they have these people, who have befriended John Grammaticus,
right,
go and be like, "Hey, John, we'll help you on your thing.
Yeah,
we'll help you with your thing." So much so that they stage a prison break with John Grammaticus to help get him to the thing. What? No, not so much prison break. It's a prisoner break. They stage a pseudo prisoner break with John Grammaticus to get him to where he needs to get to going, and then. It's revealed that no, they weren't really ever friends with him. They were just working for the Alpha Legion, and then the Alpha Legion teleports in right as they're starting to talk to the Cabal, and they're like, "Yeah, no, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it on our terms."
Yeah.
And then that's when they show them the visions, and they show, I believe it's 3 people they show the visions. It's Alpharius, Omegon, and then a Admech, I think, and then it might have been John Grammaticus as well.
Okay, well, I thought John Grammaticus gave them the vision.
No, he's just there when they give them the vision.
He's just there,
yeah, he's just there
and then it's the Cabal.
Because he's taking them to get the vision. Because they can only get the vision when they become in contact with the Cabal.
Right.
He can't give them this vision. He's very low on the totem pole in terms of the Cabal. Because his whole thing is infiltration, because he's a human perpetual.
Yeah.
He can go in and he can infiltrate human worlds.
Yeah.
So basically they get this vision, and the vision is basically... One is the galaxy, basically what the 40K galaxy, essentially what the modern day galaxy is.
Yeah.
And then the next vision is a vision that is so horrifying and so disturbing that it kills the Admech priest, and it causes Omegon to go into a fit of rage.
Yeah.
And it causes Alpharius to make the decision there and then that they have to essentially help Horus on the way of him doing what he's doing, to stop this horrific, vision of the galaxy coming into fruition. And essentially the vision that they saw of the galaxy is basically what would happen if Horus won.
Yes. Yeah, basically that was basically the entire note that I had written there.
Sorry for taking over.
No, you're good.
Yeah, no, it's just the Alpha Legion stuff is so complicated.
It is. But basically, just to throw a little bit more detail in there, the first vision was that the Alpha Legion would stay loyal, help the Emperor, defeat Horus, but the Emperor would become injured and half dead, and then he'd be in that stasis. And then over 10 millennia, human would slowly and terribly die out and chaos would rule. Mm-hmm. Versus Alpha Legion siding with Horus, defeat the Emperor, and then Horus would have an identity crisis, and then he'd be like, oh my god, the forces of chaos caused me to do this and kill my dad. So he would then shed chaos and then kill chaos in a 1 century long battle that would destroy humanity, but everyone else would be saved.
Yeah. All of the creatures of the galaxy would live, but humanity would be wiped out in the process.
Exactly. Yeah. So Alpharius made the choice that they would sacrifice humanity over 100 years of bloody, gruesome battle with the forces of chaos to spare the rest of the galaxy and also to not have the battle drag on for a whole millennia, basically. And yeah, the decision was made, and that was basically it. Yeah. They determined that it was a worthy sacrifice to eradicate chaos.
Yeah.
To doom humanity, basically.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing is like they essentially do both at the same time. Is like, okay, we're gonna.
They side with Horus, but Horus is defeated.
Yeah.
So then it's thrown into what? This is a secret third option.
Yeah. Well, they fight for the Emperor, but they realize that the only way that they can truly win is if they fight for Horus.
Yeah.
But in doing so, they cause the death of... It causes the death of 3 Primarchs.
Yeah.
Soon to be a 4th.
Yeah.
And then plunges the galaxy into something that is 10 times worse than what happens in their vision. It's like...
In either of the vision. It's the 100 years... It's the intensity of the 100 years stretched out over the millennium.
Yeah.
Or not stretched out even, just it's just that.
Yeah. And then not to mention the fact that they have... the humanity is slowly dying out because of the forces of chaos, the Tyranids, the Necrons, the Eldari, the Drukhari, all that sort of stuff. It's like you didn't get... It's not... humanity is not killing themselves. It's just outside forces are killing off humanity.
Yeah.
You were given a lousy vision.
Yeah.
Is essentially all that happened.
Yeah, you were given 2 half-truths.
Yeah.
Basically. Well, don't make a whole truth when they come together. It just makes a whole lie.
And that's the big issue, stepping away from the Alpha Legion for just a second and stuff like that.
Yeah.
All of these visions that are ever given by the Eldari are always Eldari centered.
Yes.
It's always centered around the Eldari, and it's like, no wonder you're like, hey, maybe you should, sacrifice humanity for the rest of the galaxy. Eh?
Yeah.
It's like, because you're basically just being like,
the Eldar want to live because they know what they're doing.
Well, they know what happens if they die, and if they all go to Slaanesh. They all
go to Slaanesh. So they'd rather live as long as they can.
Mm-hmm. And that's the thing as well. Is of course they would prefer the one where the Chaos Gods all die out, because then that means Slaanesh is dead. It means their souls start going to the warp instead of to a Slaaneshi demon.
Exactly.
Yeah, and that's the big issue. Is you can never, and this is the reason why you can't trust this filthy, stinking Xenos, is because it's always they're always like, oh, it's for the galaxy's greater good. No, it's for the Eldari's greater good. You're selfish.
But is humanity doing anything different? This is an argument that could have. We could make many episodes.
We could go down this thing.
This argument.
Look. We I didn't think we'd be getting this into a Primarch episode, all right? But they're like, oh, if you keep going the way that we're gonna go, you're gonna create a god of your own, and you're gonna end up exactly like the Eldar did. Yeah. That's true. They did. It's called the God Emperor. What are you talking about?
They just made a man into a god, kind of, against his will, but also...
The Emperor put himself in that position.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh no,
it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh no, but then it's also the thing of oh no, we've created our own god, and he is the pinnacle of humanity.
Yeah.
Unlike you losers who just made a sex demon.
Hey, at least they know how to have fun.
At least they know how to have fun, but they do it weirdly.
Yeah. Just a little bit.
Yeah. But then taking it back to the Alpha Legion and everything like that, it's just of course they're going to pick of course they're going to side with their own race.
Yeah.
Because we are currently on the path. It was kind of teased with the Terminus Decree that, the Emperor can come back in some shape or form.
Yeah.
So, we might end up at some point in the future seeing the Emperor turn into a Chaos God, or turning into some form of warp deity.
Yeah. All possibilities.
All possibilities. And the Alpha Legion made that possible.
Yes. They thought they were doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And it didn't quite work. That's kind of just the entirety of Warhammer.
No, it's the entirety.
Well, not quite.
They changed the Tau because they didn't want good guys in the game. So yeah, it's pretty much the entirety of Warhammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I feel like that's all we've got to say on the Alpha Legion?
Yeah, that's really all we got to say on the Alpha Legion. So yeah, on to the next one.
Ave Dominus Nox.
All right, so who's next?
Next on the list, we've got Konrad Curze. Everybody should probably, get a cup of tea, get all cozy, because we're going to be here for a minute. We're going to be here for a while.
Yeah.
On this particular Primarch.
He has 3 notes.
He has... I have three bullet points.
3 bullet points.
And the last one doesn't even really count.
So I think what we'll do here is we'll go over a quick recap of Konrad Curze.
Yes.
Because it's very important that you understand why he's in the position he is.
Yes. And there was a content warning on that original video.
Yes, then there's a content warning right here too.
So yeah, for the next couple of minutes.
Yeah. I'll keep it light. So Konrad Curze, he comes to his planet Nostromo. He starts living on his own, and he learns to become a killer. Is essentially what happens to him.
He's raised in the shadows. He becomes the knight.
Yeah, I am the knight. He essentially becomes the Batman who laughed. If the Batman who laughed still believed in law and order.
Yes.
So he eventually becomes the Dark King of Nostromo, the Night Haunter, and he likes to kill people. He has this dark part of him that just likes to kill people.
But he's doing it in what he thinks is his version of the law.
Of the law, yeah. And that's we talked about it in Curze's, Corvus Corax's episode. Yeah. Where him and Corvus Corax are basically the same.
Two sides of the same coin,
but Corvus Corax learned how to be good from people, where Konrad Curze learned how to be bad from people.
Yes.
And they both started living off of those values.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. And Konrad Curze was plagued with visions of jaywalking. But he was plagued with visions every single night. Like, he'd go to sleep and he'd wake up screaming, covered in blood because he had gone sleep killing. So he was plagued with those visions every single day of his life.
Yeah.
Skip forward ahead into the Great Crusade, and he is basically just using terror tactics to bring planets into compliance.
Exactly.
His brothers kind of get annoyed with this, and they and so does the Emperor, and they bring him in to get censured. Essentially, they were like, "We can't have you fighting out in the world anymore."
Yeah. But so he's not just put in the timeout corner; he's grounded.
He's grounded. Yeah. And they're like, "Oh yeah, now." Don't worry, we know how to take care of him. And this ends up with Rogaldorn getting very badly injured.
Yes.
And then them finding Rogaldorn's honor guard slain, and Corvus Corax out in the world again.
No. Konrad Curze.
Yes, Konrad Curze, not Corvus Corax.
I interrupted and I was like, wait, why am I interrupting you? Oh, yes, because
Konrad Curze,
he's just kind of like running wild in the ship.
Yeah, and then he finds a way back to his fleet, and then hilarity ensues, and he nukes his own planet.
Yes,
he hits the planet directly where he had landed.
Yes, because there had been this massive crater that went right down to the core.
Yes,
and the other note there is that even through his horribly monstrous ways of following the quote unquote law, he had the planet under rule. People
until
were behaving. He left, and they went right back to the old ways.
Right back to the old ways.
So he specifically nuked it because they were back to their old
and they had disappointed him.
They disappointed him.
It's weird as well, because then he decided to use the offenders, quote unquote, and killers and murderers and all that sort of stuff to bolster his own legion, because he knew they were the only ones brutal enough to do the stuff that he needed to do.
Yeah.
And then he destroys the planet because they were doing the stuff that he needs to do. He's a big old contradiction.
He's a big old walking contradiction.
Yeah, and then he disappears off into the galaxy, and his legion has disappeared for a while.
Yes. So after he nukes his own planet, he has no purpose anymore.
No.
He's not allowed in the Crusade, and he doesn't have a home.
No.
He's just lost. Yeah. And he's on the brink of insanity for a really long time in between that vision and the visions are taking over the day, and the day is taking over the visions because he's just seeing so much horrible stuff. Essentially,
dreams and reality are starting to mesh, and he's starting to have these he's starting to have waking visions.
Yes.
And it's just kind of all kinds of bad for him.
Yep. So he ends up joining forces with Horus willingly.
Yes.
And Horus was like, would you rather continue to listen to the guy that put you in the that grounded you for doing what you thought was right, why don't we just keep doing that?
Yeah. Well, and then Konrad also had his own reasons for joining Horus too.
Yes.
Because he knew he was going to die.
Yes.
Like he had seen the day he was going to die and how it was going to happen.
Exactly.
And he realized that his path through Horus, becoming traitor and all that sort of stuff, would lead him down the path to his death.
Yeah.
Most accurate.
Yes.
But on top of that,
he thought his visions were solid, concrete truth.
And they saw they were the future and everything. So he was just like, well, this is what I have to do to have the future come to fruition.
Because if it doesn't, then why did I do all of this terrible stuff?
Yeah, exactly. He needs to believe that what he has been doing is the right thing.
It's also a self-fulfilling prophecy.
Exactly. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy because he believes that what he's doing is the right thing. The prophecy becomes true because he's not actually objectively looking at it.
Yeah.
It's the same reason why Sanguinius didn't have to die.
Yes.
But yeah.
So, like, does everybody kind of have orc powers?
Orc powers?
Believing that something's true, so then it becomes true.
No. I mean,
no, all for the jokes.
All for the joke. I mean, Rogel Dawn has the power of unfettered autism, so he's quite literally the opposite of Corvus Corax.
The audacity to just do things.
Dude, I found out recently while doing some more research on Rogel Dawn. Do you know that his power is no power?
Really?
All of the
He's normal type.
He's normal type. All of the Primarchs have some form of specialty,
and he's just a dude.
He's just a dude. His power is literally willpower. He is so willful and so autistic that he cannot be corrupted by the Chaos Gods.
Wow. Yeah. That's okay.
Yeah.
Really catering to the fans there.
Yeah, I told you, unfettered autism is like.
Yeah, he just do.
Dude, I just finished the Mechanicum book.
Yeah.
In the Mechanicum book, he spaces.
Yeah.
He spaces out, and then Malcador's like, "Hey, buddy,
you good?
Back to Earth." And he's just like, "I'm sorry, I was trying to figure out how I could turn this archway into a blast door."
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
That's yeah. He's got a one-track mind to build.
Yeah, but that's the thing is like, yeah, all of them have some form of warp power. All of them have seen some kind of have seen some or have had contact with some kind of prophecy.
Yeah.
Like the Lion and Gilliman later on when Sanguinius tells them that he's destined to die. Horus when he sees the prophecy of the future. Lorgar with his stuff. Magnus with him doing all his magic stuff and all that sort of stuff. Some of them at some point have all had connection to a prophecy, and they probably have all seen the same prophecy.
Yeah.
Which is that, numbers-based fate idea where it's like, this is the most probable thing to happen.
Yes. So therefore it will.
Yeah.
Exactly. But
as we said, that was a quick look into Konrad Curze.
Yes. I hope that everyone enjoyed their very slowly and thoughtfully sipped on teas and coffees and whatever.
Well, there's a lot more that happens with Konrad Curze, but
there is, but that kind of comes.
Him joining the heresy is a very small part of the story, and a very big part of the story that happens during the heresy with Konrad.
He gets up to all of his shenanigans during the heresy.
It's also a hammer.
It's also what?
It's also
his shenanigans also are a hammer.
I'll give you a quick note.
Okay. Quick sidebar.
He goes up against Vulcan, and he's like, that stupid teleport thing you have in your hammer won't work in here. This place is shielded. And then Vulcan goes, "You know what else this is?" And Conrad's like, "What?" And he goes, "It's a hammer." And then he busts Conrad's face halfway across the room.
Oh, I love that. Okay, that is so very Vulcan.
Yeah. But there's a lot of stuff that goes before that too.
Yeah, so, and a lot of stuff that'll come after.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that a little bit later on.
Yes, that'll be more so in the heresy.
Yeah.
That is all for Konrad. Yeah. And I guess we'll move on to the next one.
Iron within, iron without.
So last on the docket for today is Perturabo, Peter Turbo, Peter Boy,
Perturbo.
He's the purtiest of all the turbos. Yes, that is exactly where I was trying to go. So, as the great continue Great Continue crusaded.
Yep.
As the Great Crusade continued...
Oh, you're tired, aren't you, buddy?
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
No, all work and no coffee makes Vincent a sleepy boy.
Yeah.
Anyways, so Perturabo's falling under a lot of pressure.
Yes.
To get things done, to pull the slack. So there was about a year where Perturabo and the Iron Warriors were combat with the Hrud. The Hrud?
Hrud, yeah.
Hrud.
Hrud.
And while he was busy doing that, and these were like terrible, terrible monsters. Like, did we talk about that in Perturabo's episode?
I think we did, but give me a second to pull up a description.
I meant to do back research for that one and then dipped.
I think we talked about it for a hot second, but
yeah, they were like these horrible, freaky monsters that did terrible things to people.
They had time. The Hrud had time manipulation powers.
Yes, and that was their big thing. It was very hard to fight them.
Yeah,
because basically your average Imperium military member would get real close and then they'd age to death.
Yes,
immediately around them. So you had to have these Astartes that are basically can live for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
But even then, do you want to do that? So you needed, some people there that'd be a bit stronger to, fight against them and stuff
exactly.
like that. But even due to that, when they were fighting the Hrud, the Iron Warriors were just experiencing lots of losses.
Yeah. So they also had a weird field around them that did stuff also that you couldn't get super close, and they were very nocturnal. They lived in the shadows.
Yeah.
So it was hard to find them regardless. Mm-hmm. And they were just absolutely terrorizing people and really causing a struggle. The Iron Warriors were stuck fighting these guys for a year.
Yeah.
And I don't think they completely...
They didn't wipe them out. They're still dealing with the Hrud in present day Warhammer. Right up until the 41st millennium.
That's kind of rude of them.
It's kind of rude of them.
It's kind of rude of them. Anyways, while Perturabo was away fighting these guys,
who's he fighting?
The Hrud.
The Hrud.
The Hrud.
The Hrud.
His home planet, Olympia, yes, that is what it was called, had fallen to infighting and insurrection.
Yes.
Bum bum bum.
Bum bum bum.
Bum bum. Womp womp.
Wheat womp.
Wheat womp.
Oh, is your planet falling to death and demise? Oh, wheat womp.
Wheat womp.
Wheat womp. Oh, is your brother going to go and tell you to destroy your own planet? Oh, wheat womp.
Oh no. Yeah. So he ends up going back home. Yeah, he found out that things were not going well at home.
Yeah.
And was able to take a break from fighting those aliens.
Who?
The Hrud.
The Hrud.
The Hrud. And got back home, found that everything was in shambles.
Yeah.
And he started working his way from the outskirts toward Olympia.
Yeah.
Raising the rebel cities.
Yeah.
Killing everyone.
So from the outside of the system towards the planet of Olympia, or from the outskirts of the city on Olympia to this thing?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think just planet.
Just planet.
Just the planet.
No, that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. And he was doing this in a fit of rage.
Yeah.
He had no idea what he was doing until the funeral pyres burnt out.
Yeah.
And it was only then that he was like, oh, I just killed everybody.
Yeah, well, he kills his sister.
Yes.
Because his oh boy.
I remember
his family consisted of him, two brothers, and two brothers, his sister and his father.
Yes.
And his brothers were doing the classic thing of oh, you're adopted. And his sister was like, I don't care that he's adopted. I love him.
Yes.
And in a fit of rage, she sees him in his rage.
And tries to...
She tries to talk him down. And he essentially just grabs her by the throat and then just chokes her out.
Yes. Because I remember reading about that when I did the research for Perturabo's... PT's episode. And I was like, I need to remember to talk about this.
Yeah.
And
then he does that, and that's one of his big regrets is the fact that he killed the only person that cared for him, because his father saw him as a tool.
Yeah.
His brothers saw him as
the adopted brother. The adopted child that is not our brother.
Yeah.
And she actually talked to him and liked him, and they actually had a pretty
and they were
healthy relationship.
Hey, Perty, those machinations that you're making, they're pretty cool, huh? And he's like, yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah. Okay. She liked his little inventions.
And that's all he wanted to do. All he wanted to do was
just wanted to invent things.
He wanted to invent things, man.
Yeah.
It's like...
And then he killed her.
And you can talk about how much of a pissy Perty is, but he's... All the poor guy wanted to do was just invent his gadgets.
He just wanted to tinker.
And
he got thrown into a war.
He got literally pulled into a war.
Nothing's his fault.
Well, that's the thing is like, his dad was like, hey, yeah, you're going to have to invent war machines for me. And Perturabo was like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that.
Dad, that sucks.
I want to improve the lives of people. I want to
kill them.
I want to build great bastions that can keep my people safe for centuries.
Yeah.
I don't want to kill people.
Yeah.
And then his first dad was like, no, you're going to kill people. And he's like, I guess so. And then like his second dad came along and was like, you're going to kill people. Like, I guess
but more people.
But more people. On a galaxy sky went. As long as I get to build your palace, right, actually your other autistic brother's going to get to do that. What the fuck?
Yeah. And then kills all of his people and his favorite person, his sister.
Yeah.
So now he's kind of like...
Everything sucks.
Everything sucks. He realizes what he did, and he knows that the Emperor is not going to forgive him.
No.
And the Emperor would not forgive him.
No.
So...
I mean... Why would you ever forgive or, give heed to an animalistic rage monster that, goes through a world and just kills as many people as they could? I mean, I can't personally see any of his other two sons that have done that many a time.
Yeah. And it's not like they're doing that galaxy-wide in the name of conquering in any ways.
No. And it's not like he has one of his sons that kind of does that entire thing, that he keeps really close to him and then sends him out on special missions to kill people that he deems are unworthy of living alive, and are his first son and his favorite sons, and I'm just saying that
it's
he's not hypocritical.
Yeah, it's his least favorite of his favorite sons. Yeah, I guess. But either way,
Perturabo is definitely at the bottom of the list when it comes to the Emperor's favorite sons.
Yeah, poor guy.
Yeah.
But regardless of whether or not the Emperor would forgive him, he doesn't feel like there's anything that he can do to atone for what he's just done.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like lost for a little bit, and then the heresy starts, and the Emperor sends a call out to all of...
Well, the heresy doesn't start.
Yeah, it's like getting ready to start.
Yeah.
And...
Because Horus has orchestrated this.
Yes.
Because he sends Perturabo back to Olympia to deal with what's happening.
Right.
Knowing that it would tip him over the edge.
Oh.
Is what I'm getting from that.
Okay.
But, and then the Istvan 5 happens.
Yes.
And the call goes out because Fulgrim popped up.
Yeah.
And he was like, hey, Ferris, join me. And Ferris was like, nah.
Yeah.
And then Fulgrim was like...
They duked it out.
And then Fulgrim was like, bonk.
Nice game of whack-a-mole.
Nice game of whack-a-mole. And then it got back to the Emperor. Well, got back to Rogal Dawn, and then it got to the Emperor.
Yeah.
And then it was Ferris, Corvus. It was Ferris, Corvus, and Vulcan that heard the call first.
Yeah.
And then the Emperor sent...
For the rest of...
The other four guys.
The other four guys, including Perturabo.
Yeah. Well, not Magnus.
Not Magnus.
Magnus was dead at this point.
Right.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote dead.
Yeah. So he sends out the call of like, go to Istvan 5 essentially.
Yeah. So the Emperor wants him to come and stand up to Horus, and that obviously doesn't happen. I just wrote the Warriors. Just the Warriors.
The Iron Warriors?
Yes, the Iron Warriors. The Night Lords, the World Bearers, and the Alpha Legion had already...
Sorry, the world who?
The Word Bearers. Yep, that's just going to keep happening.
Yeah.
I wrote world.
Yeah.
I wrote that down.
It's the World Bearers and the Word Eaters, yeah.
Yes, those ones. Oh, yeah, okay,
that's why. That's why it gets messed up, yeah.
But yeah, all of those guys that I just said, and the Alpha Legion, they've already been like, yay, Horus! Screw our dad! In secret, yeah, they hadn't said this publicly. And Horus is kind of like he's been buddy with Perturabo. He's been buddy with everybody the whole time. After the Drop Site Massacre, Horus would go and see Perturabo, and they would have a chat. And I missed a half of a note here. Okay, sorry. After he rampaged his own home, and the Emperor was like, "Nah, I'm not going to forgive you," and Perturabo was like, "I'm never going to forgive myself." Horus reached out to Perturabo, forgave him, and commended him for such a thorough and efficient job well done. So that's where Horus got him.
Oh.
So
that part.
yeah. Horus was like, "Damn, you did a good job purging the rebels.
You did a good job.
You did a
burning
good-
your own planet to the ground."
Yes. Yeah. So that's where Horus got Perturabo, and then Esteban V, and then Perturabo would have fought with Horus.
Yeah.
And then after the drop site massacre, Horus is like, "I forgive you. I think you did a good job, and I'm going to give you a gift to show that I trust you and forgive you." And he gives him Forgebreaker.
Forgebreaker, yeah. He regifts him Forgebreaker.
Regifts him regifts. Oh yeah, because he just got it from.
He just got it from Ferris.
Yes,
Fulgrim.
Well, yes.
Fulgrim got it
Yes,
from Ferris, and then Fulgrim gives it to Horus, and then Horus gives.
It's back and forth. It's a hammer that's been in many hands.
Fulgrim gives it to Ferris, and then he takes it back from Ferris, and then he gives it to Horus, and then Horus gives it to Perturabo.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been back and forth.
Yeah.
It's been around the world.
A bit more than the world, it's been around the galaxy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, like for like people in universe, it would seem like that hammer, like the gift of the hammer, was what kind of sealed the deal. But it was the fact that Horus was like, "No, I forgive you, man.
Yeah,
it's okay.
You did a good job.
It wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
They made you do it."
Yeah.
And that was it.
It was finally getting recognition for the acts he'd done, which is really sad to come to think of it. But
it is. But
what are you gonna do?
That's the way it's gotta be sometimes.
Yeah. And then he proceeded to go on and be the only thing keeping the heresy from absolutely falling apart.
Yes. Yeah, because these four have fallen to their own. They've fallen to their own
whims.
Own whims. But yeah,
because Perty, he dismantles the defenses of the Sol system.
Right.
He dismantles the defenses and is the reason. He's the sole reason, and a couple of other things here and there.
Yeah.
But he is essentially the sole reason why Horus and his fleet and his other brothers and everything like that are able to get to Terra in the first place.
Right.
If it wasn't for Perturabo, they would never have made it past Neptune.
Because he knew how to tinker with things.
He knew Rogel Dawn in and out, because essentially he was Rogel Dawn, just a little bit more autistic and sad.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Two sides of the same coin yet again.
Yes.
But not as contrasting, but a little bit. But either way.
Yeah.
That is all of our quote-unquote bad guys.
That's our bad guys for this week. And then next week, we're not going to be looking at Primarchs anymore.
Nope. Taking a little break.
Taking a 2-week break from Primarchs.
Yes. Talking about events that the Primarchs were involved in.
This one's a lot more Legion-based than it is Primarch.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And we get to learn about ancient Rylanor.
Ooh, yippee.
Yeah. There are two absolutely badass dreadnoughts during Istvan 3.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, Istvan 3 is coming next week.
If you couldn't tell chronologically.
There are two badass dreadnoughts. There's a Death Guard dreadnought and there's a Death Guard dreadnought and there is a Emperor's Children dreadnought. Okay. The Emperor's Children one is Ancient Rylanor. I can't remember the name off the top of my head for the
other one.
For the other one, but he has a really sad moment. He's holding a Death Guard in his arms. We'll go into a little bit more detail in the episode. He's holding a Death Guard in his arms. And he's like, let's die on our own terms. And he ignites his fusion core.
Oh,
yeah. And the exact line from the book is, and for a split second, it seems like a star was on the battlefield.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, no. How dare this nerdy war game give me emotion?
Oh, and then Rylanor lives for 10,000 years. He gets buried on Istvan 3, lives for 2,000 years, and he's like, hey, Fulgrim.
hey, I'm back.
Blows up a warhead in his face.
I love that. Vengeance after, you'd have a long time to stew on vengeance that long.
It's the only thing that stopped them from going insane.
I love that.
Because dreadnoughts, if you don't put them into stasis...
Oh, yeah.
If you don't put... They slowly go insane because they don't have any feeling or... They don't have any sensation, and they're just, essentially just... I have to fight and kill, and that's all I do.
Yeah.
So they have to put them into stasis to stop them from going insane. Ironically, though, Hellbrutes do the exact opposite. They force them to be awake, so they eventually go insane.
Right.
Yeah. Because the Hellbrute is the chaos version of a dreadnought.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just make them go insane.
Yeah, they torture them and turn them to go insane.
Right. Because they want them insane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I remember rightly, they the embryotic sac that they're in inside the sarcophagus heightens their sensations. They just feel pain and torture and all that sort of stuff constantly.
Woo, Slaanesh.
Oh, it's not a Slaanesh thing.
No.
Yeah, no. I don't think Slaanesh has any. They probably have Hellbrutes and Slaaneshi side, but
they've got Talos.
Yeah, they got Talos. They have
Talos,
more.
and there's a second one that they're very similar, and I can never remember which one's which. Talos and whatever the other one is.
Yeah, because I know that there's a lot of Hellbrutes in. I know there's a good amount of Hellbrutes in the Thousand Sons, and there's a good amount in the Death Guard. There might be a few in the Death Guard, and there's definitely Hellbrutes in the World Eaters.
Yes.
Yeah, and the Iron Warriors have some Hellbrutes, I'm pretty sure too.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Kronos. Sorry, Talos and Kronos. Those are the two.
Okay, got you.
And they're flayed open people that just kind of keep living as robotic monsters.
Ew.
Yeah. Anyway, to end off on a super positive, happy note.
Yeah, but yeah. So yeah, like
back end house cleaning.
Like and subscribe. If you're watching on the YouTube, leave a comment. Please leave a comment. It really helps us out. If we're like the Argel Tal thing we were talking about earlier, that was actually a suggestion from a commenter.
So thank you for correcting us.
Yeah, I'm sure Gage will throw that up on the screen if he does. If you're on the Spotify, download, listen, follow,
listen again.
And if you're on the Instagram and you're listening to this, how
are you doing that?
How are you doing it?
Are you a Zinch mouse?
Zinch mouse. But yeah, thank you guys for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Yes, we will.
Bye.